Hi everyone, Bryant Dillon here at San Diego Comic-Con 2018 for Fanbase Press, and we're here with Amanda Troop, who's going to be appearing in The Death of Superman for DC Animated next. Amanda, thank you so much for talking with me.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Well, welcome to Comic-Con first. You are now within the geek mecca.
I love it.
And we're going to talk about a hugely important film. This is The Death of Superman.
Yes.
It's for DC Animated, which always does a fantastic job. It's involving their cast of characters that has been going through this continuity of DC Animated films, and now this is going to be, I assume, a major event. What is it like to be part of it?
It's thrilling. I was excited. So when you're in an animated film, you get cast like a year and a half, 2 years before it's finished.
Sure, yeah.
And so when I found out that I was going to be playing Maggie Sawyer in this, I was a little like, oh, that's really cool. This is epic. So I'm really thrilled to be part of it.
And for people that are watching that maybe aren't as familiar with the character of Maggie Sawyer, can you talk a little bit about who she is and what they can expect to see from her in this film?
Yeah, absolutely. So Maggie Sawyer is a police officer with the Special Crimes Unit. Sometimes she's a captain, sometimes she's an inspector.
Right.
And she has sort of this love-hate relationship with Superman. She wanted police work to be done the way it's supposed to be done by humans. He said, well, superheroes can help sometimes. In this film, that's all in the past. He's saved her at some point.
Okay.
They have a good relationship. So she's, there's a disturbance. She's called to the scene.
And we can tell from the title what might happen.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But it's really cool to get to play Maggie Sawyer. She's one of the first openly gay characters in a major comic franchise, and so that's just really awesome. I love giving her more screen time, and I hope I did a good job. I think I did a good job.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah. So
what do you... well, let me ask you this. Were you familiar with the Death of Superman storyline before joining this project?
Yes, tangentially. We're sort of a Batman household.
Okay. Sure, you got to pick one or the other sometimes.
The epic nature of Superman's death. Yeah. Doomsday. Yeah. You've heard about that. I also there's like a dark side sort of part of that, which I can't quite remember offhand, but this whole, the idea of Superman being able to be killed is it's sort of mind-boggling. It's a little akin to like Santa Claus getting killed. It's something that just can't happen. And so when it can happen, it makes you question
what does that mean? What does it mean for good and evil and going forward?
And what we thought we knew, like what we thought we could believe in. So that's my answer to that question. Is tangentially.
and was there any kind of research or how did you prepare for, I would say, the role of Maggie Sawyer?
Well, I read some comics.
Okay.
And I read her Wikipedia as well.
That's important.
Because you'll get more there oftentimes than you will in any one issue.
And as you hinted to, there's with comics, there's a variation where the character is seen in different ways in different stories.
Right, yeah. She originally was married to a man, and then she questioned her sexuality. She had a long-standing relationship with a woman named Toby, who's a reporter. She has a son. Then there's another timeline where she has a relationship with Batwoman. So, lots of different good information.
Right.
But ultimately, whenever you get a script of any kind, you have to look at it and look at what are the needs that need to be met? What does my character want here? What are the scenarios that they're in? And so I just broke it down in that way. Yeah.
So what would you say that you have similar to this character, and what would you say is very different?
Well, we're both badass women, but otherwise, I've never been a police officer. I am fine at driving. I am not an excellent, trick driver in any way. I've never met Superman in real life. So more differences than similarities.
Okay.
I mean, we sound the same.
Sure. Yes, you have the same voice.
Yeah, we have the same voice.
All right. Well, let's talk about. You have another project that you are appearing in, Myths and Monsters.
Misfits and Monsters.
Yeah. Misfits and Monsters. Sorry for my misspeaking there. But this is Bobcat Goldthwait's new project. Can you talk a little bit about how you're involved and what it was like?
Yeah, definitely. I was in an episode that's coming up, episode 4 of Misfits and Monsters.
I almost made you do it.
It's called Goatman Cometh, and it's an anthology series from his very imaginative brain. So each episode is a new story. Each episode involves some kind of monster. And my episode, this is not really a spoiler, but I feel like maybe the humans are the monsters. Just saying.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But I don't want to say too much. The first episode's out, or the first 2 episodes out. The first one stars Seth Green,
nice.
and it's like a combo between Cape Fear and Roger Rabbit, and he's being stalked by a character he voiced, and it's amazing. And then another episode just came out yesterday about a werewolf who runs for mayor and gets elected.
Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds fantastic.
So the show it's really fun. It's crazy. It's dark comedy. Lots of amazing effects, practical, special effects. It's loaded with comedians, just absolutely packed with comedians. Each episode has a featured comedian. Mine features Melissa Joan Hart.
Okay.
So, but everybody's just funny, brilliant. You know, working with him was amazing. It's going to be a great show. I hope everybody watches it. It's so good.
I don't want you to spoil too much, but is there a chance that you might be a reoccurring appearance on this series?
You know, listen, not in season 1 because it's an anthology. So everybody gets, nobody's recurring.
Right. They're different stories, obviously.
But who knows? If there's a season 2, maybe I could play something else. I don't know. Maybe it'll be like an American Horror Story.
Excellent.
You know? But yeah, no, I wouldn't think so at this point.
Well, let me ask you about something that it's a little older in your filmography, but I'm a huge fan. I'm a big fan of BAMF Girls. And I am. I used to watch this when it was airing.
I'm very excited to hear that.
I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I love Buffy. I bleed Buffy. When Hunger Games came out, I was a little more skewed to the books, but I love that. And when we saw this web series of all these awesome, as they are, badass women being put in essentially a reality show, I thought it was interesting. And you were playing Hermione in that. What was it like being part of that, and what is it like to play Hermione?
Okay, well, so first of all, Hermione is my dream role.
Okay.
So when I got to be Hermione, I was very, very excited. So there's that. I feel like, of all my fandoms, Harry Potter is my biggest fan.
Okay, excellent.
So that was tremendously exciting. It was created by Comediva, which was a female-focused, like a Funny or Die kind of a website. So we were working with a lot of dynamic, creative, fun women, smart women. So that's always it's super empowering. I'm part of an improv troupe called Ripley Improv, and one of the gals in BAMF Club who played Michonne, Eliza Pearl, she's in my improv group too.
Oh, really?
But I love the experience of being in a situation where there are a lot of dynamic female minds together, because it's something that we need a lot more of.
Sure, of course.
And so that was definitely a great experience.
And I don't want to take it into too much of a controversial place, but this has been something that, as we call it, geekdom or fandom has been dealing with for a while, where they seem to be there's gatekeepers essentially. There's a resistance to allowing this growing female audience, to allowing these characters to kind of move into what has been a white male-dominated space. Is there any recommendations that you would either have for people that maybe feel that resistance, or those who are feeling the resistance pushed back?
For those who are feeling the resistance pushed back, just keep going. Stay strong. Commit to your fandom. You are welcome. No one gets to tell you what you can like. You can like whatever you want. No one can control what you wear, how you wear, your body. All of that is yours. So you get to keep that. And those gates are opening. So you just keep at it, because we're coming in. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And to those who are feeling like, I don't want this, like this is my club, how can people come in? I would say, listen, be open. There's going to be some new opinions. What if somebody blows your mind with some new theory about Game of Thrones that you had never heard before because you weren't open to hearing it? I think if you're a true fan, you want to hear from all perspectives. Like, what does it feel like to be a Batman fan as a woman, or as a non-binary person, or a person of color? How does that change your perspective and give you a new lease on fandom? So I would say, go further, investigate more, and listen.
Thank you so much. Those are really, really important words. Are there any other projects that you're working on currently that you can talk to us about?
Sure, yeah. I'm part of this animated series called Box Peak.
Okay.
And there are going to be new episodes coming out of that. That is through Easy Allies, which is a video game media company. It's all paper craft. The first episode is out. It's very fun. It's on YouTube and stuff. I actually just did. I did a couple video games this year that I can't talk about.
We'll keep an eye out for them.
I just worked on a film, voiceover.
All right.
Which I can't talk about.
Keep an eye out for that as well.
That's coming out 2018. What else? And my improv group is producing a project this year too.
Wow, excellent.
But we haven't announced it yet. So a lot of things in the works.
Excellent.
But I was thinking, like, last year I was here and I was like, I can't talk about Death of Superman yet.
Wow, that must be frustrating.
I'm like, here I am, and I can't talk about it. So now, there's something next year, too.
Yes, yeah. Excellent, finally. Well, you know what? We always like to, here at Fanbase Press, wrap up with a specific question because we're all about celebrating fandoms. And, we always like to know what creators are a fan of. What are you a fan of recently that you think our viewers would, benefit from hearing about?
I'm a very enthusiastic person. I don't know if you picked up on that. What is something recently? Like the first thing I thought of was like, well, I really like garlic.
Garlic is good. What have you been doing with garlic recently?
Like the usual. I'm just thinking. This is just the first thing that popped in my head. Like I was like, yeah, I've read some good books. I read The Boy on the Bridge. That was good.
Okay.
I'm reading The Power. Okay. Which is about what if women suddenly had more physical power than men?
Oh, wow.
And it's a dystopia. I quite like that so far. Those are now garlic.
Yes.
What you want to do, you cut the top off, you drizzle olive oil, lots of salt and pepper, anchovies only if you want, but you're roasting it in the paper, in the paper of the garlic.
The skin or whatever that is.
Wrap that up in foil, throw that in the oven, 350, 400 for an hour. Or if you have a fire pit going, you can wrap up a couple little garlic things like that, throw that in the fire, get some crusty bread, some brie, and just eat that and feel happiness.
That sounds amazing. I'm going to do that when I get home from Comic-Con.
Are you really?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, it's just very good. It feeds the soul.
Excellent. Well, Amanda, thank you so much for talking with us. Really appreciate it. And once again, this has been Bryant with Fanbase Press. You can find more interviews like this one at fanbasepress.com.